Hey y'all, just want to show you a little tip that I found when doing the axle bearings on my trucks, at least so far. I guess we'll see when I go do the other side of my S10 here. But so I did them on my Tahoe right there. Started on the passenger side one, started pulling it. On my Tahoe, those rollers in there shattered, all fell apart. I think they're in the bottom of, yeah. I used that container right there to catch the flume coming out. See here, did the same thing with my Tahoe. But the bearing shattered apart. It was a pain. Had to get a Dremel, cut a slit in it, and then tap it with a chisel. Came out, wasn't too bad, but it was really a pain. But what I found when I went to the driver's side on that, and I just did it on this truck, it worked about the same. Hang on, set this down. So the bearing will be in here. Pull the seal out. What I did, take a punch or a chisel, tap around the edges, push the bearing back just a little bit before you try and pull it out. Just to kind of move it, get the race moving. Because with this tool, it's kind of just meant to be able to do any kind of axle bearing. So it doesn't really fit it that well. This one actually seems like it fits this bearing and race decent. But on my Tahoe, I had to use the middle size one. This is the smallest one. And it sat on the rollers, not the race itself. But that race just gets stuck in there. You gotta, what I did, just push it back, start hammering it, and it came out pretty good. So I'm gonna get this side back together just so I can reference the other side for the drum brakes. Just make my life a little easier. Once I get that all together, take this side apart. And I'll show you what I'm talking about, pushing it in and pulling it out. Alright, got this side all together. New bearing in there, new seal, new brake shoes and springs, hardware, new wheel cylinder. That's all good. Yeah. Now when I do this side, I can reference the other side. So basically what I'm gonna show, I can show you me taking apart the drum or the brakes. That's pretty self-explanatory. What I do is just take these two out and just pull everything apart. It works pretty good. And this video is for if you're about to do axle seals, or even if you want to do them, had the same problem I did with my Tahoe, where the bearing busted, all the rollers fell out. What I did, I went, I think it was like 60, 70, maybe $80 for a Dremel. All you got to get is a pack of these cutoff wheels. You can read that. And that cut it pretty easy. I probably sat there for 5 minutes cutting it. Once you get kind of close, you want to slow down so you don't cut into the axle. If you do it a little bit, that's fine, because that's where the bearing sits. But you definitely don't want to where the seal's at. But yeah, so I'm just gonna come back once I have the brakes apart, knock this seal out, and then show you my trick to getting that bearing out without busting it. A lot of times it won't bust, you can just pull it right out. Sometimes they're old. This truck has 200,000 miles on it, over like 210. So there's a good chance of these busting apart when I go to pull it. My Tahoe has 190 and it happened. Alright, got the drums all taken apart. What I like to do for these seals, get a chisel. What I'm gonna do is, I think my light's on my phone, but put the chisel right in there behind the seal, because it has a lip right here. Just tap that. Sometimes they won't want to come out, you just gotta keep going. Go work around, you know. And then once it starts coming out, it'll come out really easy. Alright, that's off. It wasn't too bad. Basically, when you're hitting this, it works really good if you can get this right here on the edge of the seal and then push that back. So you're pushing it like this way, basically. Yeah, so now I'm gonna show you my tip. Just take a big punch or chisel, tap it around these edges here, you know, like that. Okay, definitely not the best angle, but that's all I got. Let me see. And I definitely saw it move back there. I was tapping on the bottom. So now I get my tool, slide it in there. Hopefully that gets back off enough yet. Tighten this nut up. So if you had it break off, get your Dremel, cut it off with that cutting wheel I was showing you. And then on the other side, do this. Now ready to pull. As you can see there, it's moving. Now I'm just going softer because I don't want this thing to fly back and take out my stomach. There we go. She's out. There she is. That wasn't too bad. So I hope this video helped you out. And if you haven't started doing the bearings yet, try this. Like, I wouldn't even risk it without, what's it take, 5 more seconds? So on my truck it broke off and it was a pain. On this, I didn't even try pulling it without tapping it in. And it worked good.